And what were you doing outside of rap for like careers and stuff?
UPS, FedEx, worked at a winery for a bit, and then I started working at this aerospace plant, moved around the flow, and then worked up and got to go on the admin side, and I quit from there. Like, that was my last job.
So you were there for a minute?
I was there for probably about 5 years, from like 2013 to 2014 to 2019.
And while you're working, those are all good jobs, right? I think I've heard you say this before. I've said it before. Ain't nothing wrong with having a job.
They wasn't good. They were jobs.
It was jobs. It was a paycheck. It was paychecks.
Yeah, it was a paycheck.
Yeah. But what I was getting at is you're doing that while you're recording and mixing.
I was doing that more than I was recording and putting out music, honestly. Then, like, I was doing it intertwined, but like I said, that whole time, man, I just started working because I had a child when I was 17. Okay. And I was like, that was beating my ass. And it was like, you go to work, you got to go to work so you can take care. So I was kind of working more than I was working, on my crafting shit for a while. And it slowly I always was doing it in the background though. Weekend, I get off work, I'll try to get something in. And then I just slowly start doing it more and more because the passion start growing. I start writing things I love. I just start getting more adamant into it. But yeah, the whole time I was working a job in the early times. That's what was funding everything.
And that's why I wanted to ask you that too, because I think a lot of people get discouraged when shit don't happen right away.
Right.
And a lot of stories that you hear, they almost seem like they do happen right away from the outside looking in. It's like, oh yeah, I went to the studio, I made a song, I put it on SoundCloud, and it blew up. But that's not everybody's story.
No.
Why? Even though, you got to pay bills, that's something I think everybody can relate to, too, is like a lot of people don't take off right away because of financial limitations. Let's keep it funky, too. We're in the Bay Area, man. It's a lot of people we competing against. They able to put money from certain sources to fund what they doing. You know what I'm talking about? Salute to the, I ain't mad at that. You know what I'm saying? But aside from that, was there something that you changed that was different back then that you had to? Was there a confidence issue? Was it perseverance issue? Was it a focus issue? Organization issue?
All of the above.
Okay.
I was in development. Mm-hmm. I was in development. I mean, I was just a human growing. And as you grow, your priorities shift a bit. The things you care about, the things that matter to you shift a little bit. So now I was just developing that entire time. And the more I did it, the more I wanted to do it. Because the more I was able to see how possible it was. And that was always the issue. I just never did it enough to see the results I wanted to see. I was never not going to make it, but I just didn't do it enough to see the results I wanted to see. So I was telling myself, it won't happen. But it's like once I started doing things and it's like, damn, I did that and this happened. Damn, I did that and this happened. And it just keeps on compounding. It's impossible to get to that point because you can see the road.
Let's break down what you just said, Larussell, because I don't even know if you're aware of some of the powerful things you just said. You said you told yourself it wasn't going to happen. I've been there. I think we've all been there where you're like, fuck. Especially now that things are like compressed to numbers and views and likes.
Man, it's harder.
And streams. You're like, man, I only got 800 streams. Fuck, this shit ain't finna happen. You always live in a comparison
today.
Yeah, exactly. But I believe telling yourself it's not gonna happen is one of the most harmful things you can do.
For certain.
Mm-hmm.
For certain, because niggas believe themselves. Even liars believe themselves.
Oh, they believe themselves the most.
It's like, bro, we was just talking about it in a car. I was having this whole rant because I was like, for me to do as much as I do, I'll be talking down on myself sometimes in a way that just doesn't make any sense. But throughout my journey, I've conditioned myself to utilize that as fuel, which is crazy because there's two ways to end a war: conquer or embrace, right? And most people choose conquer, and a lot of us choose like that dominating side. Like I tried to just through growing up. You know, you talk yourself negatively into getting that strength instead of positively. And we were just having that convo in the car, and it's like, niggas ain't trying to do that no more because it never worked. T had told us the other day, she was like, if bullying yourself into being successful worked, then you be there already.
Yeah.
It would have been done, right? If talking negative about yourself was the way to success, you would have already did it.
Yeah.
You feel me? So, but it takes a lot to get to a point where you could turn that off. I succeeded, you know, like I've gotten to a point I never believed I'd get to, and it still be on for me. So I know when niggas down and hurting and the paper ain't right, like it's easy to get into that space, but the only way to get out of that space is to get out of that space.
Yeah, man. I mean, this shit comes with a lot of L's. It comes with a lot of L's.
A lot of lessons.
A lot of lessons, yes. And the other thing you just said right now, which you kind of already touched back on, is this idea that I discovered later in my life, that you have to go all in for this shit to really work. I kind of compare it to like, you know, like I said, it's dope to have a job while your other stuff is still in development. Like you said, it's dope to do other things. It's dope to have experiences. But when you really decide this is it, man, I'm finna do this shit. I gotta do this shit. There ain't no other option. I'm putting everything to the side. I'm going all in. It's kind of like if you want to become a doctor, man, like how many years of med school? It's damn near 10 years of med school. You gotta commit to that. You gotta commit to that. You can't be like, I'm finna be a doctor.
And you can't stop halfway, or you can't be like...
Exactly. And you can't just stop and then pick it back up. And then, you know, you can't do two jobs at once. It's like, no, I'm doing this med school shit.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing, I believe, with the music or any type of creative career.
You know what's crazy, though? It's only that for some of us to get to the level that we are like, no, that's like, nigga, you won. That's what it takes. But a lot of niggas get in without any of that, without that desire, without that commitment, without that dedication, right? But the thing is, when you have to always remind yourself that your path and your journey different. Because when you start looking over there, you're going to be feeling away. Yeah. You're going to be feeling away because, nigga, I be having moments where I'm just like, damn, I still got to work this hard. Like, with all the talent and the skill and the shit that I've done, all this shit, I still be like, no fucking way. Yeah. Right? But I know my journey is so much different. My mountain is higher. Some people is like, we're walking at the same pace, but they already at the top of their mountain. And I'm like, damn, niggas at the peak, but it's like, my mountain all the way up fucking here. So of course I'm having to climb way longer. But when you don't have that perspective and you just looking at another nigga with his flag on the hill, that shit'll bother you.
Yeah, it looks different for everybody.
Right?
And they say that comparison is the thief of joy.
Man.
And especially now, that's all we do is compare ourselves we just scroll.
Boy, it take everything from you.
Yeah. Yeah, you go on Spotify to play someone's music and you're like, damn, they got how many million streams? My shit came out the same time.
Man. Right?
But so if I'm recalling your story correctly, shit really started to pop for you when you got serious about creating content. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yeah. When I got serious about releasing content.
Okay, what's the difference?
Because I was always creating content. Like, I've been having I've been having sub-viral moments since like 2019, 2018 through different shit I've written and content I shot. But me getting serious about making content and dropping it every day and sharing something every day, that's when it started rolling. Because you just can't it's 30 days in a month. A nigga used to post once a week.
Yeah.
That's 4 chances in 30 days you have to change your life. Yeah. I got to the point where I was posting 5 times a day. I gave myself 150 chances every single month. It's 12 months in a year. That's over 1,500. Like, you see a nigga over 1,500 times in a year, somebody gonna know your name versus the nigga who you only seen 48. You know, so when I got serious about just putting shit out there, you know, I'll be working on shit, and sometimes I'll sit it. And I'm going into this space now where everything gotta be fresh for me. It's like, I make the song, we gotta go through the content, and I gotta let it out. I like, even when songs is made for me 2-3 months ago, it feel old today because I did so much shit and I feel so different. Like, I just want shit to be fresh. So I just been trying to get into a different space. But when I got into this space and embrace sharing and being creative and like, let me just make the art I want to make and put it out. That's when everything started changing.
Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay. Recognize where you got the game. We got our own style, got our own slang. Northern California is a West Coast thing. This is the history of the Bay.